You have been told a lie that is keeping you in a state of perpetual struggle. You have been told that to manifest your desire, you must maintain a state of artificial high vibration. You believe that if a single tear falls, or if a wave of heavy sadness washes over you, you have ruined your manifestation. You spend your days policing your thoughts, terrified that a moment of human discouragement will cancel the law of your life. I tell you, this is the greatest misunderstanding of the law of assumption. There is a specific heavy sadness that often arrives just before the dawn of your realization. It is not a sign of failure. It is not a lack of faith. It is the sacred grief of a dying identity. You are manifesting a new version of yourself, but for that version to live, the old person, the one who is comfortable in lack, the one who is defined by the struggle, must die. And death, even the death of a limitation, carries an echo of sorrow. Stay with me. Because the moment you stop fighting your sadness and start understanding its mechanical purpose, the bridge of incidents will finally clear. To understand why you feel discouraged when you should be celebrating, you must understand the nature of the three-dimensional world. The world you see with your physical eyes is not a living thing. It is an echo. It is the finished, hardened result of your past imaginal acts. Imagine you are standing in a vast canyon. You scream, "I am wealthy," but because of the distance, the canyon is still returning the echoes of the "I am poor" you screamed yesterday, and the day before, and a month ago. The sadness you feel today is often just the sound of those old echoes hitting the walls of your reality one last time. Most students make the mistake of hearing the old echo and saying, "See, I am still poor. The law isn't working." The moment you say that, you have just started a new scream of lack. You have restarted the cycle. The sadness is actually a sign that the old echoes are finally reaching their end. It is the final echo. When you feel that sudden, unexplainable dip in your mood, that feeling of, "I just can't do this anymore," you are actually at the most dangerous and most fertile point of the journey. You are at the threshold. But why does the mind fight so hard at this specific moment? Manifestation is not about getting things. It is about becoming a state. When you successfully assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you are literally changing the fabric of your identity. You are no longer the person who is seeking that job, that person, or that health. You are the person who has it. But your ego, your physical mind, is terrified of change. It has been identified with the struggle for so long that it considers the struggle to be home. Even if the home is a prison, the ego prefers the familiar bars to the unknown freedom. This is why, as you get closer to the manifestation, the old self throws a final tantrum. It floods your system with doubt, nostalgia for the old ways, and a heavy, thick sadness. It is trying to pull you back into the safety of your old limitations. I want you to recognize this. That sadness is the smell of a ghost. It is the scent of a version of you that no longer exists in your imagination, but is still flickering in your physical body. If you can sit with that sadness without identifying with it, you win. But how do you handle the practical weight of discouragement when it feels so real? How do you keep the mirror secret when your eyes are blurred with tears? Listen to me carefully. You can cry. You can feel discouraged. You can have a day where you stay in bed and feel the weight of the world on your chest. The law does not require you to be a robot. It requires you to be loyal to the end. The secret is this: you must learn to cry as the person who already has it. If you were a billionaire and you had a moment of sadness, would that sadness take away your billions? No. You would simply be a billionaire who is having a sad afternoon. If you were in the arms of your beloved and a wave of old trauma made you weep, would that embrace disappear? No. You would be a person who is loved, experiencing a release. Your mistake is making the sadness mean that the manifestation is gone. When the discouragement hits, say to yourself, This is just the old shadow leaving the room. I am feeling this sadness, but I am feeling it from the throne of my wish fulfilled. Do not fight the feeling. If you fight it, you give it life. If you observe it as a passing cloud, it must move on. The bridge of incidents often requires you to walk through a valley of shadows. But remember, the shadow is only there because there is a light behind you. The darker the shadow, the closer you are to the source. There is a moment, just after the heaviest wave of doubt passes, where a strange emptiness arrives. It is not sadness anymore. It is a quiet, hollow peace. This is the sign that the old self has finally surrendered. The echoes have stopped. The canyon is silent. In this silence, the new reality begins to harden into fact. If you are watching this right now and you feel that heavy heart, if you feel like the user who asked about overcoming doubt, know that you are in the final stages of the shift. You're not failing. You're being unmade so that you can be remade. The sadness is the labor pain of your new life. Tonight, do not try to be happy. Do not try to force a smile for the universe. Simply be still. Say to your sadness, "Thank you for showing me that the old is truly dead. I am ready for the new." Rest in the silence. Stop checking for movement. The echo is over. The voice that speaks now is the only one that matters. And that voice says, "It is done."